Welcome one, welcome all to the final game of the season for your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls hockey team. They're taking on Georgia Tech here today in the Marietta Ice Center in this lovely Marietta landscape. As you can see, they're clearing some mats off of the ice right there. That is because they were also appreciating the seniors today. We'd like to give them a quick shout out. We had Richard Red, who's actually going to be starting in place of Luke Thurston in the goal. Or actually, never mind. I'm lying to you. Nope. No, that's Luke Thurston in goal, I think. Interesting. Or unless it is, and he's just wearing, unless it's Richard and he's just wearing Luke Thurston's gear. No, I think he's on the. Anyway, that being said, Richard Red is
great open.
Richard Red, Drew Spicinski, Wes Davis,
Ryan
Moran,
Gagne,
and Tristan Gagne are your seniors. We love all of those guys, and trust us, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of goodies in between periods for you today, so don't miss out on some of that action. You're going to enjoy it. As we line up here, I'll hand it off to my brother in crime, Andrew Leonard. What's going on, Andrew?
Not much, but you make it seem like we're brothers but do nothing but crime.
It's not. There is crime, but it's also mainly the brother part.
Okay. Sounds all right to me.
It's like brothers, but also crime. Not crime, but we're just happen to be brothers.
Sounds all right to me. Last time we faced Georgia Tech, we beat them in a thriller by 2 goals, but that was at their ice complex where we had to run the stream out of a backpack. Matt, you fondly remember that one.
That was one of the worst streaming experiences I've ever had. Gonna be honest with you.
And when Georgia Tech's getting some pressure down in the KSU zone, Luke Thurston able to fight off a hard angle shot, but Tech still has control at the high point before they turn it over to Ryan Moran.
It's going to be an icing.
Who punches it on down to the Tech zone for the first icing of the game with 19:20 to go.
Andrew, I'm excited. I'm excited to get this game underway.
I'm a little teary-eyed, Matt.
I am all broken up about it, Andrew, but we'll get to that in the intermission.
Yes, we will. Face off down on KSU's end of the ice. This is Drew Spicinski coming in to handle this one.
Yes, indeed.
The senior, one of the 5 men of the night. A long shot put on goal, but stopped by the stick of Spicinski in front. And here comes Kennesaw. They push back into Georgia Tech's zone, but not before it goes off the body of Bright. Bright now couldn't handle it in Georgia Tech's zone and turns it over to the Ice Bees, Matt.
The Ice Bees. I like it. That's a good name.
Thank you. Mason Bright punches it on into the Georgia Tech zone. Ian McDonald and Van de Kerkhoff come off the bench now for KSU. Georgia Tech now with control, and we have a stoppage in play.
Going to see what this stoppage is for this time. I believe played by high stick.
Good eye, Matt.
Yeah, when the referee makes that high stick motion, it's like...
See, you were busy bumping with the audio mixer right here.
I was.
So I didn't know if you were looking at the referee.
Dude, I have eyeballs in the back and side of my head.
Matt, that's a penalty on Georgia Tech early.
Oh, really?
High stick on Georgia Tech. That's a fresh 2 minutes for KSU's power play with 18:54 left to go. Matt, a penalty early in our favor?
What? Maybe it's because it's senior night and it's the last game of the regular season for Kennesaw State. The referees finally decided to open their frigid dark hearts.
Took long enough, only the entire season.
Yeah, right?
Ian McDonald now back onto Evan Deere in the circle as he skates his way up to the point. Evan Deere over to Van de Kerkhoff. A shot on goal. Jeremy Van de Kerkhoff wide left as Evan Deere chases down the rebound. Deere backs out of the zone, keeping it away from one of the Tech defensemen. Hands it off Berezinski. Berezinski now takes it himself over the blue line into Georgia Tech territory. Berezinski waits on the high point, gives it on to Deere. Waiting patiently now is Evan Deere on the left side of the ice. A shot on goal hits the body of Bright in front and gets sent to the corner. A pass from McDonald to Van de Kerkhoff. Back to McDonald. McDonald to Deere. Deere playing with on the left side circle. A pass up top to Van de Kerkhoff. Gives it on back to Evan Deere. Evan Deere takes it in. A shot is stopped by a leg of a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket with 1:05 to go in the penalty. McDonald now in the corner. Hanging on to it, looking for some action.
Ooh.
Mitchell Bright trying to create some screens in front of the goaltender as Mitchell Bright gathers the loose puck and gives it on over to Van de Kerkhoff. A shot by Van de Kerkhoff, patted away there by the Georgia Tech goaltender, Rudnicki.
Nice. Did you remember that, or do you have the roster?
I have the roster.
That would have been incredible if you had remembered that.
I should have played that off, just like stuffed it under the seat. So, yeah, that was all me.
It's in your... Yeah, that was really... You, like, eat it.
Eat the roster, okay.
That's how you digest the information, right? Hey.
Gotta hit you.
Zing.
28 seconds to go on the power play for KSU. 17-19 to go in the first period. Still scoreless as Kennesaw makes their push. Tristan Gagne, one of the other seniors, a pass up ice intercepted by the Yellow Jackets, and given on back to the stick of Luke Thurston. Thurston now hands it off to Gagne. Gives a pass on up to Max Hayes. Hayes gets the puck poked away from the neutral ice, but it goes on back to the stick of Gagne as he twists around. 3 seconds to go on the power play before we're back to full-strength hockey. Spicinski now at neutral ice, but it goes to the stick of Testino, but not before it's ripped away by one of the Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech playing some better defense than we've seen from some of these recent teams, Matt.
Absolutely. Kennesaw State's been on quite the win streak, mainly due to their early offensive dominance in terms of time of possession. But, as we have a stoppage in play here.
And those Spicinski checks that we just saw.
Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of that is due to a lack in defense from the opposing team, and Georgia Tech seems to be a little bit more on their game than some of these recent teams.
Well, like I said, last game against Tech, it was a pretty good one, so we'll see if they can live up to the hype this time. Aaron Tisdale on the faceoff wins this one as Moran gets checked down to the ice before he can play the puck, but eventually tips it on back to Gagne. Gagne over to Mason Bright, up ice to Tisdale. Tisdale takes an open ice check and gets sent down. Georgia Tech now behind their goaltender. Matt, I have a feeling Tisdale will remember that. Yes, he does. A check into the boards.
And they are going to, there's some bad blood there already.
Well,
Tisdale is out for blood, and nothing is going to stop him in his mission.
An interesting game to end the season as Georgia Tech goes in the Kennesaw zone. A shot on goal, gloved away there by Luke Thurston, and now Bright has it behind the cage.
You're going to need to come with some better tricks than that if you want to send one by our boy here.
Absolutely. Aaron Tisdale now chasing the puck. Bumps one of the Yellow Jackets off, attempts a centering pass, but it's skated back to the corner. As now, still a scrum for it. Tech ends up with possession. Attempted clear there is stopped by the stick of Mason Bright, but Tech gets control again, up the boards, and stopped by Bright again. On over in between the skates of Deer. Deer puts it around one of the defensemen and goes back to the corner. Checked there by Barnett. Deer trying to take this one out, but it goes to Barnett, and Bright able to keep it in play. Gagne, a long shot, tipped up and just wide left by Spicinski, and now Evan Deer back on the trapezoid. Deer chasing down the loose puck, shoves one of the Yellow Jackets off, and it ends up to Mitchell Bright. Bright pushes it around the length of the boards and into Georgia Tech possession as they now have control and clear it up ice for a breakaway. Georgia Tech 1-1 against Luke Thurston. A shot, and he scores. First goal of the game goes to Georgia Tech with 15:08 left to go on a breakaway against Luke Thurston.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Georgia Tech did not need many minutes in the offensive zone for them to land their first goal. Just a bad turnover by Kennesaw State results in a one-on-one situation and an early goal from Georgia Tech. Let's see how Kennesaw State can respond.
It's always tough to defend breakaways.
Always.
That's just defense right there.
100%. Also, Georgia Tech seems to be playing quite a bit more physical than the perennially physical team in Kennesaw State. So this is not boding well thus far.
Absolutely, we'll have to change something. Tech now off the face-off with possession, gets in the Kennesaw zone, harassed there by Spicinski. Eventually nudged off the puck and ends up on the stick of Berezinski as he attempts to clear, but it's stopped by a stick and eventually goes over the blue line, delayed offsides. Tech gets back in time. Spicinski chasing him down, shoves men down to the ice and gets the turnover. A shot on goal, sticked away there by Rudnicki. Spicinski doing it all himself.
Great. Well, no, go ahead, Andrew.
I'll say Drew Spicinski doing it all himself on senior night.
Absolutely incredible athleticism there from him.
Turnover in Georgia Tech's zone. The Berezinski brothers get it out, and now it's in Georgia Tech's possession. Tech now. A pass on over is intercepted by Ian McDonald as he backhands it down to the corner, eventually behind the goaltender. Vandekerkhoff, the first man to it, pass to Testino alongside, backhanded by McDonald.
Wow.
He gets stopped by a stray stick, and now we got a scrum in front.
And so it begins. I like it.
Well, I mean, you said this game was going to be physical.
Yes, it's going to be physical, and there's going to be a little chippiness, a little bit of the extracurriculars here, Andrew, a little bit of that after-school special, if you know what I'm saying.
You were not wrong. Only took 6 minutes for it to get going.
Absolutely. Kennesaw State going to send a couple of messages here early saying we're not going to take this.
We have offsetting penalties after that play, so we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you were getting to that.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Hey,
No, it's fine.
Matt.
No, it's fine.
Matt.
What's up, Andrew?
I apologize.
You're the worst.
I'm the greatest.
And
I'm the best that's ever done it. You kidding me?
They're bringing the face-off out to the neutral zone.
We'll see how Kennesaw can handle this 4-on-4 hockey with – who went to the box there, Matt? Do you see?
I believe it was McDonald.
Berezinski off the face-off, dumps it into the Georgia Tech zone. Testino chasing that one down. And it's a turnover in Georgia Tech zone for Vandekerkhoff. Fans on a pass there, and now it's back under Tech's control. Puck goes on out the neutral ice, controlled by the pair of Berezinskis. And now they stick it behind Luke Thurston. Berezinski marching up ice. A pass on over to Testino as he brings it up over the blue line. Gives it on to Vanderkerkhoff. A shot off the pads of Rudnicki. Attempted rebound by Testino is steered to the left side. And now Tech has control. Georgia Tech with some steam moving up ice. Hassle there by Testino and eventually sent back down to the Tech zone by Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff. Some fresh legs for Kennesaw State coming on the ice now. Tisdale off the bench. And a pass goes the length of the ice back into KSU zone for an icing.
That one's going to come all the way back to the offensive zone for Kennesaw State. And despite letting up that early turnover, Andrew, and letting up the early goal, Kennesaw State been spending a lot of time in the offensive zone. If they can keep this up and get some more quality chances on goal, there's no reason to think they won't even this one up eventually.
Let's hope they do quickly. I don't like the pressure, Matt.
I'm not a big fan.
1:07 to go in this 4-on-4 hockey as Aaron Tisdale wins the faceoff, taps it on back to Gagne, who sends it over to Mason Bright. Bright, a pass to Tisdale, but he gets nudged out of the way. Good look from him. Tristan Gagne loses control of the puck, and here comes Tech up the ice. Georgia Tech skating fast. Nudged off there by Gagne as he sends it behind the goal cage of Luke Thurston with 45 seconds to go in 4-on-4. Georgia Tech with a turnover, pass in front. Luke Thurston with a beautiful poke check, keeps it out of the net. And now Georgia Tech has possession behind the goal cage.
Luke Thurston with a potentially game-saving goal there. That was or game-saving save.
You got it.
Jeez. I can't even
Well on your way.
speak. I can't even speak. That was such a good save.
Kennesaw now, it's Max Hayes. Sends it up and off the boards, attempted for Aaron Tisdale, but Tech gets there first. Some fresh legs for both teams. Matt, this table's a little wobbly.
I was about to say, the table that we're sitting on is might as well be just a large diaper.
Georgia Tech throws it on back in the KSU zone behind Luke Thurston, but Mason Bright ends up with it. Mason Bright over to Evan Deere. 4-on-4 expires. Back to full-strength hockey. Here comes Evan Deere on the left side. Evan Deere stops on a dime. Attempts to throw a centering pass, but it gets sticked away. But he gets control back. Evan Deere tries to throw it on through to Spicinski, but gets sandwiched there by two Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Mitchell Bright with control, saves it from leaving the zone, but eventually a centering pass winds up in possession of Georgia Tech. Now before a turnover there, Mitchell Bright gets poke checked away. And now it's Georgia Tech. Tech with a pass off the boards. Luke Thurston stops it from going around and gives it on back to, is that Bright or Berezinski? Berezinski, there we go. Evan Deere over the blue line in neutralized territory. Takes it himself into Georgia Tech. Stripped of the puck there and off the board, straight into the referee's equipment. That's blasted on back into the zone by Drew Spicinski. 11:22 to go in the first period. Tech still up 1-0. And a check there by Evan Deere. Puck goes into neutral ice. Blasted on back in by Berezinski. Around the goaltender. Evan Deere catches some breath and subs in for John Testino. Georgia Tech now. Neutral ice gets sent right back into the Georgia Tech zone. Rudnicki stops this one. Gives it on back and eventually controlled by John Testino. And McDonald comes in to lend a hand. A loose puck in front is batted back to the right side corner. Now it's Testino. Testino around the boards. Attempted for McDonald. He got it. McDonald back up to the point for Berezinski. Berezinski to Vanderkerkhoff. Backhanded pass to Testino. Testino sends it through to McDonald. Waiting patiently. A centering pass is stopped in front. And now Georgia Tech sends it on back on goal to Luke Thurston, so this will not be an icing. Berezinski off the boards to his brother, who sends it right back to his brother.
Nice.
As we do.
As we tend to. Every now and again.
Vanderkerkhoff back in KSU zone, gives it on back to one of the Berezinskis. A pass off the boards, cannot clear the zone, but he gets it back himself. Here comes Berezinski with McDonald and Moran. A shot on goal is snapped up into the glove by Caleb Rudnicki.
Tell you what, this game has been fast-paced and nerve-wracking so far, Andrew. I am terrified. Nothing?
A little,
Yeah, all right.
a little on edge.
A little on edge. Don't lose it. Don't lose your edge.
I'll try not to,
You're going
Matt.
to fall over on the ice.
Slap
if you
shot by
lose an
Mason
edge.
right off the body of Moran, and now Tech has it. Delayed penalty now. Looks like this one's going to go against Georgia Tech for the cross-check on Barnett. Unless I did not see the play properly.
I mean, we tend to see these plays quite a bit better than the referees, to be honest, so we'll see.
Then again, so does every fan.
Yeah, that is out.
In their own opinion.
That is very true. What do we have here?
Yes, someone from Tech is going to the box, so Kennesaw will have their second power play of the day. Drew Spysinski coming in for this faceoff. 10:04 to go in the first period. A fresh 2 minutes for KSU. Georgia Tech wins the faceoff, but chased down there by Testino and eventually given to Hayes. And around to Spysinski, who throws it up to Berezinski. Berezinski to Gagne.
Good pass there by Hayes to get it out. Ooh, as a shot is sent wide by Gagne.
But around the boards now is Testino back up to Gagne, who sends it back to Testino. John Testino, a shot redirected. Drew Spysinski on senior night evens the score 1-1 from the pass from, was that Testino? I think it was Testino. Gagne to Testino to Spysinski, getting 2 of the 5 seniors involved for the first goal of the night for Kennesaw State.
And Drew Spysinski did a flyby of the bench because he knows, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. He knows that he just regained the momentum for Kennesaw State. And Georgia Tech looking none too pleased about the development of things thus far in the second half of the first period. Andrew, you are going to tip this table over.
No, I'm not, Matt. I got my balance. My feet are down. We're good. You got to love power play goals.
Gotta love them. It's like beating up on your little brother. You would know all about it.
I wouldn't know all about it until I turned about, 13.
All right, listen. We're not going to go there. We're not going to.
You went there first. 9:20 to go in the first period. Score is tied up, and now Kennesaw has possession of their own zone. A pass up the neutral ice bounces over the stick of Moran and ends up in Georgia Tech's possession of their own zone. Back in the trapezoid, waiting behind the goaltender, Barnett comes into pressure. A pass across to absolutely nobody. A banks off the boards as Moran comes in and skates that one to the possession of Gagne, who flops it on back in on goal to Rudnicki. Georgia Tech back up the neutral ice. KSU gets some fresh legs on. As now Gagne has it neutral ice, throws it but intercepted by a Yellow Jacket. Back up, kicked aside by Evan Deere, and that will be offsides. Neutral zone face-off now as Drew Spysinski. Georgia Tech takes this one. Waiting behind the goaltender now, Mitchell Bright comes in. And a pass at the corner is sent on back to neutral ice where Berezinski will tap this one down and send it on back to Berezinski. A pass up off the boards intended for Spysinski. He lets it through, and now Georgia Tech has possession. Up the neutral ice, crossing into KSU zone around the left side. Checked off of the puck there by one of the two Berezinski. Sent in front, stopped in front by Luke Thurston. He frees it. No, he cannot get an eye on it as it leaks on out to the left side corner and sent up into the mesh by Berezinski.
We'll have a defensive zone face-off here for Kennesaw State. A little hectic in front of the net there, but nothing they couldn't manage. I was terrified.
Personally, I was a little scared.
Oh, 100%.
Spysinski on the face-off. Georgia Tech wins this one. Laid flat there by Evan Deere.
Big hit there from Evan Deere, letting him know who's boss. He's saying, "Excuse me, son, sit down. I need to teach you a thing or two about gravity."
Just turn up the physicality a little bit. It's always nice to see. Also, gravity lessons.
Also, yeah, Isaac Newton.
Sent on back into the KSU zone with 7:45 to go off of the stick of Luke Thurston as Georgia Tech speeds in and controls. Puck goes to the center of the zone, tipped away by Evan Deere, and could not get there quick enough to get a breakaway as Evan Deere was ripped down to the ice. No penalties for either team as KSU plays within their own zone. Off the boards intended for Evan Deere, who is going to the bench.
Unfortunate there. Just couldn't quite make the change in time.
Berezinski off the boards, up into Georgia Tech's zone, and they will have possession. Vanderkerkhoff skating in, could not get there in time. A near breakaway there for Tech, but it goes to the stick of Thurston, and he freezes. $7:14 to go in the first period. Score is still tied. Ian McDonald comes in for the face-off and wins it cleanly to Gagne. Off the boards to McDonald. Vanderkerkhoff speeding up the ice. Here comes Vanderkerkhoff, but the shot on goal misses left, but a rebound attempt there. Put on goal by Luke Thurston. Eventually goes wide right and into the corner. Did I say Luke Thurston?
Yes.
Excuse me. He's back down there.
You meant John Testino.
I meant John Testino. I saw a T on the jersey, and I just immediately went through it.
You know what? I appreciate that.
I'm just so happy about Luke Thurston in the goal.
I'm so happy about all these chances we've been getting, especially that breakaway. Normally, Vanderkerkhoff can put those away. The goaltending just a little too rigid thus far.
We'll see if we can break that down later. 6:39 to go in the first period. Flopped on into the zone there by Tristan Gagne. Sent it high, almost touching the ceiling, but controlled by Georgia Tech. Testino in a scrum now. 3 Yellow Jackets versus 1 John Testino. And the Yellow Jackets come up with it.
I put my money on the Testino, Andrew.
Here comes Georgia Tech back in the KSU zone. Skates around Mason Bright and eventually behind Luke Thurston. Gagne comes in. Gives it on up to Bright. Gagne now with possession behind Luke Thurston. Sends it out to the stick of Bright. Cannot control it, and Georgia Tech throws it right back off the skates as Barnett loses an edge, but it leaks on back to neutral ice. Gagne back in KSU zone, starting the push. A pass on up, tipped off of one of the Yellow Jackets as Gagne takes it himself and runs over one of his own players. But Georgia Tech controls. Tisdale harassing. Checks a man off the puck, but there's 2 Yellow Jackets for the price of 1. And now here comes Tech. Trying to throw it up the boards, but stopped there by Max Hayes. And now Tech has possession. A cross-ice pass. Stick check there by Mason Bright as a Yellow Jacket just rips the stick out of Bright's hand.
Oh, no.
Max Hayes.
Oh, it's all gone to heck, Andrew. Oh, it's pandemonium. Running over each other. Friendly fire incidents.
And they'll be all good in the locker room. Just a couple new bruises.
Hopefully.
A pass up to a streaking Yellow Jacket as now they have it on the left side. A shot on goal goes wide right, and now Max Hayes controls. Hayes throws it out. Checks his way to the puck.
Good job by Hayes. They're managing to finesse that puck all the way down the ice. Just escort it.
Absolutely. A pass off the boards to himself for one of the Yellow Jackets is controlled by the Berezinski brothers. Passed on back there to Aaron Tisdale. And thrown up the boards and into the mesh for a stoppage in play. 4:46 to go in the first period. Score 1-1 at the Marietta Ice Center. Matt, I'm going to miss this place.
I am going to miss it dearly, Andrew. Well, we'll get back to that at the first intermission.
Ian McDonald on the face-off. Loses that one to Georgia Tech. And now Vanderkerkhoff has it on the glass. A pass off the boards. Here comes Ian McDonald. 2-on-1. McDonald and Testino. A pass on over is stopped there by the Georgia Tech defenseman. And now it's McDonald and Testino in a scrum with 2 Yellow Jackets behind the goal. Ian McDonald wins this one. Throws it up to the point for Berezinski. A shot off of a stick of one of the Yellow Jackets and goes on to the corner for Vanderkerkhoff, who tries to get there in time but cannot. A pass goes up into the Kennesaw State zone, back to Berezinski. Berezinski now, nice little move there. Goes up along the boards, Testino, who takes it across the blue line, and a pass up near the head of McDonald, but he gloves it down with control. Backhanded centering pass goes between 3 Yellow Jackets, eventually sent to the left side corner, as Mitchell Bright and someone from Georgia Tech battle it out. A pass off the boards. Here comes McDonald to try to intercept this one, and cannot get there in time. Georgia Tech finally gets out of their own zone. Dumps it on back. Luke Thurston controls this one and gives it to Berezinski. Berezinski up to Deer. Deer tips it on up on goal to Rudnicki, who freezes it when Spicinski comes charging in.
Yet another offensive zone face-off for Kennesaw State here, but in order to capitalize on these offensive zone face-offs, Andrew, they need to win the face-offs. They have not been doing so hot in the face-off department these last, I would say, 4 or 5 games.
And Georgia Tech takes this one.
I rest my case.
Georgia Tech, a cross-ice pass, stick down there by Spicinski and just outside of the long reach of Gagne, but he pushes it to the corner and ends up with it. Gagne off the boards, attempted for Deer, but off the back of a Yellow Jacket, and a pass on through to the left side of the ice. Georgia Tech with control in Kennesaw's territory off the boards to a waiting Mitchell Bright. Bright sends it up the ice off of the knees of one of the Yellow Jackets as Deer is the first man to it. Evan Deer cannot get there in time. So now the Yellow Jackets have it. A check there by Barnett as Mason Bright tries to keep this one in the zone and does. A pass over to Deer. Deer takes a slash, and he loses the puck all the way back to the right side of the ice. Spicinski, a shot on goal, need away by Rudnicki, as now Moran comes in fresh off the bench trying to make a play. 2:45 to go in the first period, and we will have an icing.
Coming all the way back. Ooh, this game has been fast-paced, Andrew.
I'm gassed, and I'm just watching it.
Yeah, I'm out of breath. I'm up here like, water.
Max Hayes on the face-off. Georgia Tech takes this one along the boards for Berezinski, and he sends it back to the corner. Barnett checks the man with the puck, but it's sent out into neutralized territory, and here comes Berezinski to control. Berezinski Gives it on back to the waiting Luke Thurston. And now it's Moran. Moran backhands it into the Tech zone. And here comes Moran and Barnett to try to play it. Max Hayes with the steal. Puck shuffled all the way back behind Rudnicki. And eventually to the corner for Hayes. Hayes sends the puck straight up in the air, attempted for Barnett, but it's gloved down and controlled by Tech, who cannot clear it because Berezinski was waiting. Yes, they do. He could not control it properly. So now it's back to the other Berezinski. Berezinski sends it on back to the trapezoid in Georgia Tech zone. Here comes Moran to try to contest. A pass kept in the zone by the skate of Berezinski. And here comes Vandekerkhoff. Tech with control. A turnover in the center ice zone by McDonald. And now it's sent back to the Georgia Tech zone. Check there by Vandekerkhoff. That will be a penalty as we have an empty net from Georgia Tech. Delayed penalty, touched by Testino. And that will be a fresh 2 minutes for Georgia Tech. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the first period, so this power play for Tech will take us into the second period.
Unfortunate there for Kennesaw State to take this late penalty. You definitely want to go into the locker room with the momentum. This is not the way to do it. That being said, Kennesaw State's penalty kill, Andrew, they're second to none.
That is true, but Tech's one of the more skilled teams we've seen, so
they're
we'll have to really step up
They're
for
like
this one.
the A team, Andrew. They're the A team of hockey. They're like extraction team Bravo.
I'm gonna just cut you off right here.
They're just so good at extracting the puck from their own zone. It's like a rescue mission.
All right, that works. Jeremy Vandekerkhoff was sent to the to the penalty box, not the power play box. The penalty box.
Well, I mean, it is technically a power play box.
I mean,
not
if
for the
you
right
think
team.
about it properly.
Yeah.
Evan Deere on the faceoff. Georgia Tech wins this one. They have control at the high point. Georgia Tech, the left side point, puts a shot on Thurston, deflected in front, but saved off the blocker of Luke Thurston. And here comes Evan Deere. Killing some more time. A shot from the blue line over Rudnicki is pat to the side there. They had to freeze the puck from the Kennesaw State shorthanded attack. I am okay with that, Matt.
I am all about it, Andrew. Evan Deere screaming up ice, putting a hard one on goal that rebounds. Forces the Georgia Tech goaltender Rudnicki to cover that one up and force an offensive zone faceoff here.
Which Georgia Tech wins.
Unfortunately.
Georgia Tech with control in their own zone. Kennesaw State is looking to kill some time. A minute flat to go in the first period, a minute 30 to go in the power play. Georgia Tech, a cross-ice pass sent to the right side circle. Waiting patiently. A shot on Thurston just goes wide. That was a great look for Georgia Tech, but he just mishandled it.
Absolutely, Andrew. Just bounced over his stick. It was a bouncing puck on the pass. Just barely saving Kennesaw State there. We dodged a bullet.
Oh, I'm worried. A pass on over, broken up by Mitchell Bright. Killing some more time. 33 seconds to go in the first period. And Georgia Tech crawls their way into KSU zone, but a pass goes onto the skate of Gagne, who sends a bouncing puck down the ice to the waiting stick of Rudnicki.
Well done there by Kennesaw State and Gagne to break that one up and force, I believe, one last push here.
One of the senior boys. Here comes Georgia Tech. A pass in the middle of the ice. Broken up there by Berezinski. 5 seconds to go. Berezinski, a slap shot from the blue line, goes wide right. And with 3 seconds to go, that will do it for the first period of action here at the Marietta Ice Center. Kennesaw State 1, Georgia Tech 1.
Ooh, Andrew, this one's a nerve-wracking one. 30 seconds of a man advantage for Georgia Tech when we come back here for the second period. And with that being said, everyone, this is normally where we would go to break, but we have a couple of things that we would like to share with you. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and do one of, I don't know how this is going to look because this is going to be an interesting angle.
Are we good?
I'll mess with the angle just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Excuse us, folks. There we go. How about that?
Works. You just nudged it.
I nudged it. That's my fault.
Are we good? That'll work.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, Matt.
It's not me. It's the cable. Hang on. Remember when we were good at this?
No.
Me neither. There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
How you
Matt
doing?
Leonard here.
Andrew
My
Leonard
brother
here.
Andrew Leonard here. We have the Super Gamecast brothers, and for the past 2 years, we have been broadcasting Kennesaw State hockey and loving every single second of it. It's been an absolute blast getting to know the players, getting to know the coaches, and just calling a bunch of amazing, fun hockey games for the school that we go to.
It's been a great time.
It really has been, but sadly, this game right here is going to be our last game as the Super Gamecast brothers for a couple of different reasons. The first of which being, after this year, I am graduating. I'm going to be out in the real world doing real world things.
Big old electrical engineer.
Yeah, I'm not a, I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to be graduating, and Andrew has a bit more of an interesting story because Super Gamecast Brothers, the fun little broadcast that we're doing here, was kind of the jumping off point for Andrew's next move. Go ahead and tell us what you're up to, Andrew.
Well, my major is sports broadcasting, and Kennesaw State doesn't really have the best program for that. So last year, me and Matt started this little broadcast station, if you want to call it that. And then I started looking at other options. As it turns out, the University of Pittsburgh opened up a broadcasting school this past year, and they saw these streams and really liked it. So they gave me an opportunity to come up there next year and pretty much do this for the Pittsburgh teams.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic opportunity for you, my man. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, we talked about this a lot.
You're
but
welcome
yeah.
to stay as long as you like. But we just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has tuned in week after week, game after game, to support us and to support the team. More importantly, to support Kennesaw State hockey. It's something that we love and really hope to see continue for as long as possible. I know next year they're going to be in a more official league and not the club league like they are right now.
Just wish we could be here for that.
I really wish we could, but, alas.
Yeah,
that is,
life happens.
It does.
Sometimes you can't control where you go, Matt.
But I would like to put out a request, or if you know somebody that is a fan of Kennesaw hockey or a fan of hockey in general that goes to Kennesaw State, or you're watching right now and you are either of those things, and you would be interested in live broadcasting the Kennesaw State hockey games, you are encouraged to email or send a private message on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, to our channel.
Or the KSU Hockey Twitter.
Or the KSU Hockey Twitter, and they will forward that to us. And they will, put you in contact with us. I have a whole bunch of graphics packages. I have a whole bunch of things that I've been working on over the course of the 2 years that we've been doing this for Kennesaw State hockey. It's basically plug and play at this point. The broadcasts have gotten pretty easy to set up and run. So if you're interested in it, or broadcasting is a bit of a point of interest for you, feel free to give us a call or give us a message, I should say, and we will be more than happy to set you up with everything that we've built here and show you how to use it and turn you loose because, like I said, unfortunately we'll not be back. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Means a lot to us, means a lot to the team. And with that, we have the first of a series of interviews that we taped yesterday after the absolute blowout of Clemson. We beat them 8-2. So we're going to end this one on a happy note, saying thank you guys. It's been an awesome ride, and we will very much enjoy.
And again, without this, I wouldn't be getting the opportunity to broadcast in Pittsburgh and probably have a chance to do this for full time for my career. So I really have to thank Kennesaw State for letting us do this. All the hockey guys, we've met them over the course of the games, and they are just fantastic people. It's sad to see the seniors go with what they've built here, and it's sad that we're leaving too, but again, you can't control it.
Can't. Thank you guys for tuning in. Here is our first interview. I believe this one is going to be, let's do Ian McDonald. This
Sounds
one's going
good
to
to
be
me.
an interview with Ian McDonald. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll turn you around real quick and get you pointed at the ice and in focus again so you can watch the rest of this lovely hockey game that's shaping up to be a bit of a nail-biter. And, that's all we have to say is just thank you for everything. It means a whole lot. What is going on, guys? Matt Leonard here with the Super Gamecast Brothers. I am here for the first of 2 interviews today with Ian McDonald. How you doing, my man?
Doing well, big win.
Absolutely. You guys blew them out, 8-2 was the final score by 6 goals. A couple, yeah. The last period seemed to be where you guys opened up the floodgates. What changed between the second and third period that made you guys completely run up the score on them?
Penalties. We spent the whole second period in the box. So, when we stay out, it's our game to win.
All right, how about this then? Because we've noticed the same thing. These referees, we don't have the luxury of home referees here, it seems. You guys spend a pretty ridiculous amount of time in the box.
I can't blame it all on the refs. We do some dumb stuff. We lose our heads a lot. But, they could help us out every once in a while.
Yeah, I'll chalk it up to bad refereeing any day of the week. Yeah, come on. It's the home team, right? Throw us a bone every once in a while. So, that being said, who do you think tends to lose their head the most?
I hate to blame it on one guy or a couple guys.
But if you had to.
Spy had a couple of them that game. Tisdale got a couple. It gets a little chippy out there, so I understand it. But, we've got to be above it and stay out of the box.
Sounds good. Most definitely. Did Tisdale get a game misconduct there? And if so, what happened?
Just yelling at the ref after penalty. It's just typical KSU hockey.
What did he say?
I couldn't hear him. I don't know. I wish I could.
I wanted to know. I wanted some spicy details, man. That would have been fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, Ian McDonald. Congratulations. You are looking, everyone, at the captain of the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls hockey team for next year. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on the win. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a go. Do you want to redo that?
Yeah. Go.
There we go. Whoopsie daisy. That's not a good
Well,
start.
welcome back to a black screen, everyone.
Welcome back to a black screen, everyone. Welcome back to the Marietta Ice Center in lovely, beautiful. I'm not going to pretend anymore, Andrew. It's pretty frigid here, and it's just not.
Gray clouds, kind of depressing. It's raining today.
Yeah, it's not great. It's like London. Tristan Gagne didn't come here for this. He came here for the sunshine and the sweat because of how humid it is all the time.
All right.
Basically, he came here to sweat.
Okay. Well, on that note of you talking about Gagne, KSU down a man for 30 seconds at the start of this period, and Georgia Tech has the puck in their own zone. Evan Deere harassing there as Georgia Tech takes it up in neutralized territory back into KSU zone. 10 seconds to go. A turnover there. KSU's Berezinski throws to the other end, and that will, or it should, do it for the power play. 5 seconds to go. McDonald in, pressuring.
Good penalty kill for Kennesaw State once again. They have been absolutely diabolical on this penalty kill. Once again, spending some time in the offensive zone.
You know, as you do, as we are back to full-strength hockey with 19:19 to go. And a shot wide left of the cage of Luke Thurston. And now it leaks on back to center ice. A pass goes in off the stick of a Yellow Jacket and on to Berezinski, who throws it off the boards. Attempted for Testino, but it goes on back past the blue line. Berezinski now throws it up ice to Ian McDonald. To Vanderkirkhoff in the KSU zone, and we will have an offside.
I don't know about all that.
Throw the red flag, Matt. Challenge it. Challenge it.
Can I get a coach's challenge in here?
Yes, storm the refs. Get out
Oh,
there, start
dude,
sliding
wouldn't
around.
that be so funny if people brought, like, red flags to hockey games, and every time the ref made a questionable call, you just lob one over the glass?
That'd be amazing.
That'd be really funny.
Ian McDonald on the face-off. Georgia Tech takes this one as they have it back in their own zone. Steal it neutralized there by Testino, and it gets thrown out back into Tech's zone. Chasing it now is John Testino. Checks a man to the glass and gets the turnover behind the goaltender. Now Georgia Tech with control, gets knocked down there by Ian McDonald, throws it off the glass and a referee's leg as it goes on back to the stick of Mason Bright. Bright around the boards. Past Vanderkirkhoff and clears the zone as it goes on back to Georgia Tech territory. Here comes McDonald and Moran. Puck gets thrown on back, touched, so there will be no icing. And now Mason Bright backhands it over to Gagne. Gagne, up ice, narrowly misses his target there of Vanderkirkhoff as Georgia Tech sends it flying back in on goal, caught easily by Luke Thurston. Gagne to Vanderkirkhoff, who sends it across ice, a little too hard off the boards, attempted from Moran. The puck goes on back to the KSU zone, controlled by Bright, up ice to Vanderkirkhoff. Vanderkirkhoff takes it himself into Tech territory. A backhanded pass gets sticked away there by Rudnicki before Moran can make a play on it. Around the glass now. Gagne prevents it from leaving the zone. A hard shot off the stick of a Yellow Jacket before it can leave Gagne's possession.
How did that not break his stick into a billion tiny pieces?
Sounded like it did. A shot on goal by Gagne. He had a snipe yesterday, trying to go for another one, but it's caught by Caleb Rudnicki.
Kennesaw State, some quality. What
I was going to say something, but then you started talking.
No, go ahead. No, by all means.
I was
by
just
all
going
means,
to
go
say
ahead.
that there's 17:32 left to go in the second period.
Nice.
What were you going to say?
Thanks for your contribution.
What were you going to say?
I'm over here offering analysis of the gameplay.
Go for it.
And you're like, clock.
Go for it.
No, it's fine. No, by all means.
All right,
No, go
fine.
ahead.
Georgia Tech wins the faceoff. Check there. By
I was
Moran.
going to say. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I hate you. Berezinski with the steal at center ice. Back to Moran. Gets thrown on back to the stick of Rudnicki. And controlled in the corner by Tech. Max Hayes up on the forecheck. Gets control as he throws it to the corner for Moran. A shot on goal. Stopped there by one of the Yellow Jackets before it can leave the possession. Check down to the ice. And we have a penalty on Kennesaw State. Just killed the first one. We're right back to it.
It's going to be a tripping call against
Tisdale. That's his second time in the box today.
Unfortunate.
Is it his second time in the box today?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Welcome back to Wild Baseless Assertions with Andrew Leonard.
You don't know either.
Yeah, I didn't claim to.
When I asked for your opinion, you said no.
What?
Or you said I don't know.
You said I don't know.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't need this from you.
Trying to put words in or take words out of my face.
As we do. Been doing that for, how old am I, 19? Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably form a coherent sentence by the time you were born.
Probably.
Not trying to brag or anything.
Check down to the corner there by Berezynski. Tech with control with 1:40 to go on the power play. A shot put on goal. Might have been a pass to the right side corner, but Luke Thurston was ready for it, as now the puck leaks out to the stick of Spicinski, who gets tripped down to the ice. Hey, Spicinski got tripped. Where's our call?
Yeah, it's a good question, Andrew. It's a very good question.
Could not tell you as the puck goes up into the head area of a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, but he gloves it down without breaking his nose. Berezynski now in the corner. Takes a check, tries to shuffle it on to Deer, but cannot do it. There are 2 Yellow Jackets pressuring him. Evan Deer neatly picks the puck between 3 players and lobs it on back. A bouncing puck to the stick of Caleb Rudnicki. Freezes it as Spicinski was charging once again. With 1:04 to go in the second period. No, 1:04 to go in the power play. 16:05 to go in the second period. I am on my game, ladies and gentlemen.
And Drew Leonard, everyone. He's going to be doing this professionally.
Welcome back to Thinking Too Fast, featuring me.
Featuring me always.
Ian McDonald coming over at the faceoff. Tech wins this one again. They are on a tear in this faceoff circle.
Absolutely. I don't know if Kennesaw State have come up with like one successful faceoff, have they?
I hope so.
Oh,
Puck
man.
sent screaming back into
it's a clear.
the Tech zone. Yeah,
I was saying, oh, man, because I was assuming icing. But we've been spending so much time in the offensive zone, even shorthanded, Andrew, that they might as well be playing full strength.
Might as well. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Georgia Tech off the pipe of Luke Thurston's right side of the cage. That worked, and now Georgia Tech has it in neutral ice.
That worked. He's like, I guess.
Once again, Luke Thurston's best friend, the right post. I hear he rooms with him in college.
Yeah, absolutely. They're best buds.
Yeah. It's him, Evan Deer, and the right post.
The right post. Doesn't need a very big apartment space.
No.
And another clear here should just about put the nail in the coffin for this power play.
9 seconds to go for the man advantage as Georgia Tech just plays with it behind their goaltender. 3 seconds to go. And welcome back to full-strength hockey as Tisdale comes out of the box. Georgia Tech in KSU zone, a centering pass off the skate of Mason Bright, and here comes Tisdale. Fresh out of the box and rearing to go. Aaron Tisdale in a foot race now with one of the Yellow Jackets as the play for Georgia Tech wins it.
And we have some yelling coming from both the stands and the coaching staff from Kennesaw State here, trying to figure out what exactly just happened.
The puck got thrown up into the mesh. That's a stoppage in play.
Oh, yes. But did they not stop the clock?
I think they might have.
I haven't. No, somebody's not happy about what was just called.
Yeah, the Kennesaw coaches are lighting into the ref right now.
Well, I mean, they've deserved it for a while, but...
Yes. We need replay.
Yeah, can we get some instant replay?
It's your job.
I don't have the capabilities.
If it was anyone's job, it would be yours.
Yes, I agree.
You're the tech guy, not Georgia Tech. You are the technology guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But that being said, Andrew, I don't have the capability for that right now.
We don't have the budget.
It's not in the budget. I'll let you know when we have the allotted funds.
We will never have the allotted funds.
That's right, because this is the last broadcast. But
You're making me tear up, Matt.
You'll have the allotted funds.
Hopefully.
By the college, right?
Yeah.
Go
pay for everything.
Mr. University of Pittsburgh over here. Oh.
Do I actually get to go to away games? I don't know what that's like.
It's going to be so cool, dude. You're going to have such a good time.
I mean, the only away game experience I have was setting up from a backpack at the Tech game and then sitting in the actual student section of Georgia at their game.
Those were both interesting experiences, as the UGA arena had an electrical fire.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
was hilarious.
But that being said, Kennesaw State lost the face-off, and after some little bit of back and forth, Georgia Tech ends up with it behind their own net. Andrew.
Indeed.
Am I on play-by-play now?
Nearly a turnover there for Max Hayes, but Kennesaw State gets it back. It's Berezynski chipping it over the blue line. Berezynski to Tisdale. Tisdale shuffles it in as Georgia Tech retreats to get control. Sent along the boards now. It's Georgia Tech waiting in the trapezoid. Left side of the ice. Finally clearing their own blue line as Max Hayes does something about that, and it's almost set right back in. Georgia Tech fires it on down to the stick of Luke Thurston. No icing. And here comes Berezynski. Georgia Tech making a change. Puck chipped up by Moran and sent back to the Georgia Tech zone, and that will be an icing coming all the way back.
All the way back and no change.
Indeed, for the face-off in Kennesaw State's zone. Oh, do they get Deer? Oh. He was just trying to make a change, man.
Man, I don't know about all that. Alrighty.
Drew Spysinski coming in for the face-off for Kennesaw State in their own zone. Spysinski wins this one cleanly. Back over to Berezinski, throws it up the glass. Takes a weird bounce and stays in the Kennesaw zone as a shot from the center of the ice is easily moved aside by Luke Thurston. Berezinski now, chasing this one down. Attempts to send it up to Hayes, but 2 Yellow Jackets were there, and off the body of Spysinski, who gets checked down to the ice. Here comes Berezinski. Off the glass, attempted for himself, but it's controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Goes between the legs of his brother, Berezinski, and sent back up the neutral ice. Georgia Tech with control in their own zone. Kennesaw State getting some fresh legs on the ice. Here comes Tech. Around the right side, Berezinski back to defend. Both Berezinskis back to defend. Up to the right side point, a shot off the skates of Testino, who almost had a breakaway there, but was stopped by 2 Yellow Jackets. Vandekerkhoff around the boards in Tech zone. Here comes Berezinski to fly to it.
Wow, quick there from Berezinski.
Back around the boards to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff tries to go back around the boards again to Testino, but this time it's controlled in Kennesaw State zone by Vandekerkhoff. Berezinski now. Neutral ice. Attempted for McDonald, but we have an icing.
Coming all the way back once again, unfortunately.
12:30 to go in the second period, Matt. Not much action in the first 7.5? Yeah.
No, yeah, it hasn't been very chippy. No goals. A couple close calls.
If the last game of the season goes into an overtime or a shootout,
oh,
I'm
baby.
going to lose it.
Couldn't write a script any better.
Kennesaw State in their own zone, it's Mason Bright. A pass along the boards back to Berezinski. Waits patiently and sends it up the neutral ice. Georgia Tech in their own zone. Harassed there by Vandekerkhoff, and here comes McDonald. Delayed offsides. Kennesaw State must retreat back to Berezinski, who sends it off the boards, tipped by Vandekerkhoff to avoid the icing. Back up the glass, off the glove hand of McDonald, and sent back around the boards by Tech. Mason Bright coming in. Collides with the Yellow Jackets in the corner. And now we have a scrum between Mason Bright, but he wins it and sends it on back to Vandekerkhoff, who could not control it cleanly. Someone's stick goes flying into the KSU's bench, and here's Vandekerkhoff now. To Gagne, to McDonald, center pass for Testino, a shot, scores! John Testino! Off the feed from McDonald and Gagne, I believe. Fantastic positioning there by John Testino to make this a 1-goal lead for Kennesaw State.
And Kennesaw State, Andrew, bringing it around town, giving the people a show here for Senior Day in the final home game of the season. That one is Testino, served up by Gagne and McDonald. I'll tell you what, Gagne's on the board with 2 assists, trying to rack up as many points as he can before he graduates and hops up on out of here.
And that's Testino's goal and assist for the day.
Wow. Impressive.
Lighting it up is John Testino.
John Testino. He's still got some time here in his stint.
He's youth. He's part of the youth.
He's part of the youth, the 2 youths in question.
11:32 left to go in the second period as Barnett has it back in KSU's zone. Hey, I got the call right.
Well done.
Look at that. I have eyes. I use them.
Every now and again. It's been known to happen.
Yeah. Tristan Gagne now tries to get out of KSU's zone, but Georgia Tech has other plans. Back behind Luke Thurston, Gagne gets spun down to the ice as a pass off of the knee of Gagne from Moran ends up in his possession. Gagne back in KSU zone, off the glass, high, knocked down there by Barnett. Glove down by Tisdale, a shot right side, just a little bit wide. And here comes Barnett for the rebound, a shot from the right side boards. And now it's Gagne to control. Avoids the clear, and now it's Tisdale. And eventually Evan Deere, somehow keeping the puck in the zone. But finally, Georgia Tech breaks through. Tech getting some fresh legs on the ice, and now it's Mason Bright in the trapezoid. Bright off the boards to his brother Mitchell Bright, who sends it up, intended for Deere, but just a bit too far, and now Tech has control. Pass all the way down the ice off the boards, and that will be an icing coming all the way back to the Tech territory, the Tech zone. A lot of T's involved. Matt.
Thanks,
and we will have an offensive zone faceoff for Kennesaw State.
Can't believe we haven't made this joke yet, but it's what, Mason and Mitchell Bright?
Yeah.
Mason and Mitchell in the morning. Double M's. Nothing?
I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks, buddy. Why? So you don't have to make
So I don't have to do that.
to make a loser of yourself?
KSU wins the face-off, and an attempted centering pass from Spicinski goes off the back of the cage. And now Deer chases this one down. Evan Deer gets spun down to the ice, held by his jersey. And now here comes Tech. A pass off the body of Berezynski is controlled now by Kennesaw as Berezynski loses his stick.
Nice kick, though.
Plays soccer in his spare time, kicks it on over to Evan Deer, and here comes Deer. Couldn't get to the puck in time. Rudnicki comes out of his cage to send it along around the boards. A shot from the right side boards goes wide right. And now here comes Spicinski to Berezynski. A shot from the point knocked down there in front of the goaltender. And it's Georgia Tech's puck in the corner. 9:40 to go in the second period. And we may have a 2-on-1 here for Georgia Tech. No, it just goes a bit too far in the corner. Georgia Tech goes 5-hole on Berezynski. Checked down to the corner there by Evan Deer, and that is a penalty.
It'll be on Spicinski,
allegedly.
actually.
That's Spicinski?
Yes.
Goodness me. We came out in the first period, and I was like, hey, these refs might actually be on our side this time.
No.
Nah.
Not the case, Andrew.
Yeah, that is Spicinski heading to the bench.
Unfortunate.
There's actually some fans here with a big cutout of the Spicinski's face, so maybe we'll just wave that around.
It's honestly one of the funniest things
It's
I've seen.
hilarious.
It is so good.
Ian McDonald coming in to take this face-off in KSU zone. Georgia Tech will have the man advantage for 2 minutes as Georgia Tech wins the face-off. Tech at the high point to the left side of the ice. Sends a pass across ice to the right side corner. And now Georgia Tech waiting patiently. A centering pass stopped in front there by Berezynski and cleared by Testino.
Good corral there by Testino. Managed to get it all the way back down behind Rudnicki.
1:33 to go in the power play. Here comes Tech for their second push. Knocked off the puck there by Berezynski, but there's just too many Yellow Jackets in the area. Looking for a centering pass now with Georgia Tech back to the point. A shot off the skates of Testino. Did an excellent job blocking that shot as the puck leaks out to Berezynski, but not before a scrum happens. 5 men in the corner. 3 Yellow Jackets and 2 Owls as Berezynski comes up with it and cleared by Ian McDonald.
Oh, Ian McDonald, full head of steam.
Rudnicki comes way out of his cage to play this puck, and here comes Ian McDonald flying around the boards.
He's
got
so
some speed.
Ridiculously fast.
54 seconds to go on the power play. Puck thrown back into KSU zone to Berezynski, who sends it straight back to where it came from.
He's like, no, thank you. I'd like to make a return.
8:10 in the second period. 44 seconds to go on the power play. Georgia Tech trying desperately to break this KSU penalty kill that's been excellent all season long, as you said, Matt.
I've been one to notice things every now and again.
Every now and again.
But in icing, we'll bring it all the way back down
Did you notice that?
to the Kennesaw State offensive zone. I did actually notice that.
Nice. 7:59 to go in the second period, and 32 seconds for this man advantage for Georgia Tech as Jeremy Vandekerkhoff comes in for the faceoff. Vandekerkhoff wins this one back to Gagne, to Mason Bright. A shot off the skates of one of the Yellow Jackets, and here comes Tech. Mason Bright falls to the ice as Vandekerkhoff does an excellent job shielding away one of the Yellow Jackets as Gagne blasts this one but cannot clear it. Checked there by Moran. Georgia Tech with possession. 15 seconds. A shot caught easily by Luke Thurston. Stretching out for that one. Looked like a wide receiver.
Look at that flick of the wrist, Andrew. It was gorgeous. Snapped that one up like a snapper, like the fish, like a yellow tail snapper.
Every person that
Snapping
fishes
it up.
in this, what's watching this, just turned it off. Every single one.
I don't know.
10 seconds to go for the man advantage. A shot goes wide left and around the boards. Centering pass goes to the left side corner and almost cleared. And yes, it is.
Nice.
Georgia Tech could not handle it, and that will do it for the man advantage. Back to full strength hockey. Spicinski fresh out of the box, looking to make a play. Gives it on over to Mitchell Bright. Bright across ice.
Wow.
Somehow gets to Evan Deer as Gagne has it. Fans on a shot, and here comes Tech. Backhanded pass to center ice. Mason Bright back. A shot off the stick of Mason Bright. Didn't get anywhere near Luke Thurston as Evan Deer cleans it up.
Yeah, good job by their Mason Bright managing to get his stick on that shot. The only thing between him and a potential goal, but I mean it's Luke Thurston, so.
Yeah. Georgia Tech now. A shot, but he was falling down, so not much on it. Luke Thurston easily guides that one to the corner, and now Evan Deer pushes up. Evan Deer Sends a hard angle pass down into Georgia Tech zone, and KSU gets some fresh legs on the ice. Georgia Tech. Long pass, almost controlled, but eventually does. And here they come into Kennesaw State territory. Max Hayes stops on a dime. Checked from behind there by Barnett, off the puck, but somehow they maintain possession. Chipped down to the corner and sent along by Gagne, and it bounces off the boards to the stick of Rudnicki. 6:20 to go in the second period. KSU retains their 1-goal lead so far as Georgia Tech begins another push. A pass up ice off the stick of Hayes, and here comes Tech. Checked down to the ice, Tristan Gagne. Fantastic hit there as now Gagne sends it up ice to Tisdale.
Tristan Gagne, beautiful hit. You couldn't get much cleaner than that. His teeth are in the third row.
Tisdale loses the puck behind the goaltender Rudnicki, and now Bright sends it right back along the boards to Tisdale. Centering pass to Barnett is snapped up there by a couple Yellow Jackets before it can leave his stick. Tisdale attempts a centering pass, throws into the equipment of one of the Yellow Jackets, and it's sent on back to the point for Berezinski.
Andrew, it's Ice Bees.
Ice Bees.
Cold Bees.
Berezinski. Sliding along the point off the boards to Barnett, back up to Berezinski. Cannot play it cleanly as it leaves the zone, so KSU must retreat. 5:25 to go in the second period. Blasted along the boards there by Berezinski as Georgia Tech makes a push. Berezinski with the steal. Sends it on back into Georgia Tech territory. Here comes Vanderkerkhoff right next to Rudnicki. Over to the skates of McDonald. Centering pass for Testino. Could not play it properly off of his skate. And it goes all the way back down to KSU zone for Berezinski. 5 minutes flat. Berezinski up ice. Thought the referee was an owl, and that will be an icing.
Hate it when that happens. Referees can't fly.
No.
They're also not nearly as wise, as owls are.
Yeah, that was good.
They have no idea how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Even though, for how wise they are.
Unfortunate.
4:56 to go in the second period. Ian McDonald on the face-off in KSU territory, and McDonald wins it. Turnover in KSU zone, a backhanded shot. Sticked out of there by Berezinski. Set back into KSU zone. Thurston will play this one. Gives it on to Berezinski. Berezinski up ice to Vanderkerkhoff, who sends it back around the boards to the other Berezinski. Berezinski to Berezinski. I'm saying Berezinski a lot right now.
The Airbnb, dude. It's the connection, the B&B connection.
Berezinski still waiting patiently behind Luke Thurston. Sends it up ice to Testino. Plays it between his own legs. Testino is centering pass for Vanderkerkhoff, and here comes Kennesaw. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff centering pass for Testino. Is gloved. It's sticked out of there. Gloved and sticked, apparently, by Georgia Tech. And now Tech has it. Into the catching glove of Berezinski, and here comes Kennesaw. Berezinski centering pass for McDonald. Backhander off the shoulder of Rudnicki. And now McDonald throws it on back to Berezinski. Slap shot there. Just wide right by Berezinski. Chased down to the corner by Georgia Tech, and eventually Vanderkerkhoff, who stops him dead. McDonald in the corner to Deer. A hard shot by Evan Deer.
Wow. Evan Deer sent that one at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's a wonder there's not a hole in something.
Rebound attempt scored. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff off the rebound of Evan Deer. Shot with the stuff at point-blank range on Caleb Rudnicki. Makes this a 2-goal lead.
Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff, is there anything that man can't do, Andrew? Is there anything? I'm asking you. It's a real question. He can sing. He can dance.
I don't know.
He can cook. He can bake a mean pastry, Andrew. And most importantly, he can serve up these goals when you need them the most.
That's his 3rd goal of the weekend.
Absolute unit.
3:42 to go in the second period. KSU with a 2-goal lead as Georgia Tech wins this faceoff. Georgia Tech waiting behind Rudnicki. Spicinski into pressure. Up the glass and out of play, so that will be a faceoff.
3:30 exactly left, Andrew, in this second period. They're going to give the assists on that goal, the assist, I should say, to Evan Deer. So is that his first time on the board tonight? It is.
It is. He had the first goal of the game yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
Puck thrown around the boards to Tristan Gagne, who doesn't let it get cleared, and now it's over to Mason Bright. Bright back around the board, centering pass from Moran. No, it was Evan Deer. And now it's sent up the ice. Tristan Gagne shovels it on back through. It's sent back to Kennesaw State zone for Gagne. Gagne Up ice to Spicinski. Overskates it just a little bit. Now we have a 2-on-1. Could not play it in time. Some Tech players get back. Evan Deere could not make a move as one of the Yellow Jackets was laying out. In the corner now is Georgia Tech. 2:50 to go in the second period. Sent up the wall. Gagne could not keep it in, so he must retreat to center ice. Backhand up to Evan Deere. Sent straight back to neutral ice there by Georgia Tech, and now it's over to Gagne. Tristan Gagne up ice, off the stick of Evan Deere, sent into the Tech zone. KSU makes a change. Tech now with the push. Sends it straight to the stick of Berezinski in Kennesaw State zone. And Berezinski over to Mason Bright. Bright up ice off the stick of Barnett. And eventually guided in by Barnett. Kept in play there by Mason Bright and sent around the boards attempted for Moran. Moran gets to it. Back around the boards. Nobody home except Georgia Tech. Here comes Tech. Across the red line into KSU zone, and we have an offside after a hard check there from Mason Bright.
I didn't get that one on video. Who scored the last goal? That was Vandekerkhoff, Jeremy Vandekerkhoff. Stuffed it home in front like a Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
Or a ravioli.
The 2-minute warning now. Didn't know hockey had those for in the second period. Face-off is Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale wins this one back to Berezinski. Chipped up ahead into the Tech zone. And now it's over to the right side corner. Georgia Tech cannot break this KSU defense so far in the second period, as once again they are knocked off the puck to Berezinski. Up into the equipment of Moran and sent back to neutral ice, where Tech will control. Here comes Tech, a shot on Thurston, and he makes the easy save. Luke Thurston, always on his game.
Never any doubt that he was going to deflect that one, Andrew.
A hard pass off the boards by Berezinski, sent right back to his stick. Fakes a pass to his brother, as you do.
I would do that to you. I would be like, hey,
You
Andrew,
would.
here's the puck. Whoop, psych.
You would absolutely, every single time you do that to me, even if I was open. Puck sent back through to Georgia Tech zone, played by Rudnicki and sent around the boards. 1:08 left to go in the second period, as now has Testino in the trapezoid. Behind the goaltender, centering pass, shot, score! John Testino off the beautiful feed. Ian McDonald fake left. Rudnicki had him looking towards the left end of the ice, but he sends it back right to Testino, who buries it for his second goal of the game.
Kennesaw State says, wait, 2 goals in the second period isn't enough. Andrew will hit him with the old razzle-dazzle to bring this lead to 3 goals. Kennesaw State up 4-1 on the Georgia Tech Ice Bees.
That's McDonald's second assist of the night, or day, depending on what time zone you're in. Ian McDonald on the face-off. 1:02 to play in the second period. If this ref would like to drop the puck. There we go. Puck drops and Tech wins it. Into KSU zone, a pass between Mason Bright's legs as he shields off one of the Tech players and over to Gagne. Tech now throws it straight up into the bench, almost hits their backup goaltender as he finds the puck in the mess of sticks over there.
Yeah, it's a good thing you have to wear your mask on the bench, Andrew.
Yeah. Neutral zone face-off. It's McDonald coming in for this one. Long scrum off the face-off. Nobody really won it, but Tech has possession, but immediately loses it to Tristan Gagne. Gagne over to Vandekerkhoff. A scrum directly on the red line. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Tristan Gagne back to Mason Bright. Bright off the boards into Tech territory, and here comes McDonald chasing it down. 20 seconds. Evan Deere and Ian McDonald. Here comes Evan Deere to McDonald. McDonald to Deere. Just a bit behind him, and here comes Tech. Deere with a good piece of back checking there, brushes him off the puck, and we have a penalty on Evan Deere.
I don't know about that one,
Did they
Andrew.
give him misconduct for that?
Oh, I don't think so. Why would they?
Because he blew the whistle twice.
What?
Because he blew the whistle twice.
I don't know.
Evan Deere heading to the box, a fresh 2 minutes for Georgia Tech. And that will bring us into the third period with a man advantage for Tech, as there is only 10 seconds left to go.
It's tradition, Andrew. Kennesaw State has to go into the next period down a man.
That's how we do
they're
it.
contractually obligated.
Wes gets him in the locker room like, listen, guys, every time Go to the next period, down a man. Got it?
No matter what. Oh, no, that was a very questionable call.
Was. Spicinski on the face-off. Wins it cleanly and immediately sent back down to the Georgia Tech zone. And with 3 seconds to go, that will do it for the second period of action. Tech will have a minute 50 of a man advantage going into the third. But KSU has something much more valuable, a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, that tends to help when you're a man down, is a 3-goal lead. So now, everyone, don't go anywhere. We have, wouldn't you believe it, another interview for you.
We were busy yesterday.
We were some busy little bees yesterday, and not ice bees though. They're down 3 goals. So thank you guys for tuning in once again, and enjoy some of this fine video programming from the Super Gamecast Bros.
What's better with pretzels, chocolate or cheese?
No, I'm not a big pretzel guy.
There you go.
Hummus. I'm gonna say big
Hummus,
guy.
yo. Yeah.
You said for Liberty, you just kept asking me for pretzels.
All right, I like
Dude, sriracha hummus?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's so.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
exactly.
I just tried some jalapeno the other day. Not a huge
Jalapeno?
Not a huge fan.
Jalapeno hummus?
I'm a big jalapeno guy, but not so much a jalapeno hummus guy.
Well, I mean, I like
Spicy.
jalapenos. Yeah, I like spicy, but I just don't feel like those flavors go together, right?
They don't. Absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go. I'm using that. Okay, so. Intro. Yes. What is going on? Once again, everyone, Matt Leonard here with the Super Gamecast Bros here with my interview number 2 of the day, Evan Deere, number 19. What's going on, Evan?
How we doing?
Hanging in there. Congratulations on the big win. I think it's to start out. Blew them out by 6 goals, 8-2. And that scoring was kicked off by none other than yours truly here, Evan Deere. Take us through what happened in that first goal, if you can remember that many goals ago.
Well, you know, we just wanted to come out flying, come out buzzing, and the boys, once we get that first shift out of the way, if we come out with some energy, it's all good. So we wanted to come out and either lay the body or put a puck in the net, and just happened to hit my stick and went in the net. So can't ask for anything more than that.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that. We've had a couple of games thus far this season in which you specifically have had 2 goals, couldn't find the hat trick, and it's happened to Vanderkerkhoff quite a number of times. Is there like an invisible force field that we end up jinxing you guys with, or because it feels like Andrew really?
Not my fault!
Oh, every time somebody gets 2 goals, oh my God, he's on hat trick watch.
Well, you know, that's tough, and we've got some good skill guys on our team, but we're also a really unselfish team. So we get those 2 goals, and we don't necessarily. It's great to have the hat trick, but we'd rather put up 8 goals on the board than have 3 goals and have one guy get a hat trick. So in the overall picture of things, I think getting that big win's more important than the hat trick. The hat trick's good, but you know, it's more of a win for the boys than it is for the personal win.
Definitely, well said.
Just saying that's not my fault. That's not my fault. I promise.
It's a little bit his fault. He's an advocate of spreading the love, spreading the wealth around like sriracha hummus.
It's Valentine's Day. You got to keep
It's
it.
All right, fair play. Also, as Andrew was saying, your family's here from New York to watch the game. Tell me about what's going on. You guys have a big weekend planned?
Yeah, you know, I picked him up from the airport last night. We went straight to the shooting range, fired off a couple 100 rounds. So, you know, it's a good weekend to have them in. It's the last home weekend, and they were here a lot last year, and they haven't made it quite yet this year. So it's nice to have them in town. Good to have them anytime. So, loving it.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Good to put a little first point on the board there for him, too. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like you were flying all over the place tonight for a little motivation in the stands. We got to talk to him a little bit before the game started. Very nice, lovely people. Thank you once again for doing this. Evan Deere, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Any final words? Any final thoughts?
KSU's a wagon.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
We have a bonus interview for you. Matt Leonard here. Super Gamecast Brothers. Here with the man, the myth, the legend, Drew Spicinski. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Happy to be here.
Glad to have you. So, you had, 2 goals in that game, right?
A couple of them, yeah. 2 goals. They kind of came out on a platter for me, so they made it easy, but Got to put them home.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I could see that last one. You sent it from, like, point blank. You're trying to break the back of the net.
Right place, right time, man. I had to let frosted tip goalie know what's good.
I saw that. What's
saw
going
those
Yeah, what is
frosted
going
tips?
on with that?
I don't know. That was brutal, man. When his helmet came off, when Van scored, I was like, oh, my God. Put that thing back on now.
Holy.
It was bad,
Okay,
man.
I'm losing it. Holy shit. All right.
I need a softball pitch, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's think about this.
Sorry, just trying to hypnotize him with these glasses.
It's working. It's working. It's working.
Hey, all right, so we got one home game left. It's going to be my last home game ever. Your guys' last game broadcasting. We're playing Georgia Tech, so you know we got to kick their ass. So
Got to make it happen.
got to make it happen. So if people are watching this, you got to come tomorrow, 2:30, Sunday. Be there, be square. Come to church, go after church, whatever. Let's go.
All right. That's a perfect note to end it on. Thank you very much, my man, Drew Spicinski. Thank you very much, man. Good luck tomorrow and have a good one.
Welcome back, everyone, to the lovely, beautiful Marietta Ice Center here in Marietta, Georgia, for the final period of play of the season for the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls as they take on the Georgia Tech Ice Bees. I think it is
So
the
I've
third
been
period.
told.
Yeah, so I've been told. A little birdie told me. A little ice bee told me. And it is period 3 here, Andrew, with Kennesaw State commanding a 3-goal lead. Take it away.
3-goal lead and an early shot on goal for Georgia Tech, but KSU was also down a man for a minute 44. We almost said that at the same time.
Yes, indeed.
Thinking the same way. Matt over here snacking on his cookies.
Let me live my life.
I can't say that I'm not
I had no
jealous.
breakfast.
'cause
I'm hungry.
I am very hungry, so I'm a little bit jealous. Face off now in Kennesaw's zone. It's Ian McDonald. Georgia Tech takes this one, sends it all the way to the right side point. A shot off the stick of Testino. Testino has 2 goals tonight, Matt. You know what that means?
No.
Neither do
Don't
I.
say it.
Neither do I. I don't know what it means.
All right, good.
Minute 28 to go on the man advantage. A shot up and a score for Georgia Tech from the left side corner with a lot of traffic in front. So with 19:35 to go in the third period, Georgia Tech comes out swinging early to cut this to a 2-goal lead.
Absolutely. They must have figured out what to do with that man advantage during the intermission, because they come out and in less than 30 seconds put another point on the board, cutting Kennesaw State's lead to 2.
Not too happy, Matt.
No, I'm not very pleased.
Drew Spysinski coming in for the faceoff. Kennesaw State wins it. Mitchell Bright digs it out and sends it over to the Georgia Tech goaltender. Mishandled there by Tech, and it's Mitchell Bright to Mason. A slap shot. Oh, and Tisdale was open on the right side of the goal, and it just could not go. Spysinski now centering pass over to the stick of Tisdale. Tisdale to Gagne. Long shot. Tipped in front. Rebound attempt for Kennesaw. Score! Drew Spysinski with his second goal of the night up the rebound in front. Stuffs it home on Caleb Rudnicki.
You know what? Forget everything I just said. This is Drew Spysinski's second of the night, Andrew. He scored the first one, and he scored this one to make it 5-2, Kennesaw State.
And that's Gagne's third assist of the night. He's ending the season on an absolute tear.
They call him the distributor.
They call him the young Jason Kidd on ice.
The frosty Steve Nash.
That's a basketball reference, people.
Exactly. There we go.
Kennesaw State wins the faceoff as they regain this 3-goal lead. Berezinski, a shot off the skate, rebound attempt, Tisdale backhand save by Rudnicki, diving across a second save on Hayes. Off the ankle of the referee, he is in a little bit of pain. I would be too. And now it's Max Hayes in the corner, Tisdale lending a hand. Tisdale to Berezinski. Around the boards, they're just aiming for the ref's ankles now. Hayes, a backhanded pass, is intercepted by the Yellow Jackets. Around the boards, it's Mitchell Bright, throws it up in the equipment of a Yellow Jacket and over to Berezinski. Berezinski to Tisdale, loses control, and now it's Georgia Tech. Kept in play by Berezinski. Slap shot up and caught by Rudnicki. A slapper from the point by which Berezinski is that, Matt? Quiz for you. Which Berezinski is 14?
14, Josh.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Matt Leonard, no on the roster.
Andrew,
Yo.
you know, for old time's sake,
Yes.
people, if you've been watching our stream since the very beginning, since it was just an audio broadcast,
Those are fun.
back in those days,
An audio broadcast in the Town Center Ice Forum on a picnic table.
you'll know that I used to do play-by-play.
You did.
I used to handle that. What do you say? For the next 5 minutes, I take it over.
I'll give you till the 10-minute mark.
10-minute mark. Hey,
Go
thanks,
for it.
buddy. You give me. It's so generous as Rudnicki collects the puck behind his own net here. Georgia Tech with possession in their own zone, but it's immediately stripped off of them by Jeremy Vandekerkhoff. And Georgia Tech regains possession, collects their thoughts here, and coming along the near boards as it's immediately stolen once again by Ian McDonald. They just can't even get it out of their own zone, Andrew. No, you have nothing to. I said Andrew. You have nothing to add.
Yeah, I thought that was just a formality.
No, it's. I'm trying to get some interaction
Okay.
going, but you know what? I guess not.
There's always something to talk about. It's ice hockey.
You're absolutely correct. Ian McDonald, just barely the puck in front of him, just a bit too far. Georgia Tech collects in their own zone, out past neutral, and finally into the Kennesaw State zone. But Kennesaw State retains possession. This one's up to John Testino as 17:23 to play in this here third and final period.
Of the whole season.
The whole season, Andrew. Georgia Tech back in their own zone. Bringing it out to neutral zone, and an attempted pass is tipped off of a Georgia Tech stick into the Kennesaw State zone where Kennesaw State can regain. This is Gagne now. Gagne along the far boards. Gagne up to Barnett.
Barnett, you're right.
Barrett's 10. My apologies.
The names look
Matt
similar
Leonard.
on the jersey.
Matt Leonard not knowing the roster. Gagne collecting the puck behind his own net here. Sending it up to Moran. Moran couldn't quite handle it. Hayes pokes it back around to Bright and then to Gagne. Gagne over to Bright, but a little too far. No, Bright ends up with it. Bright looking for Moran. Moran can't quite get a handle on it. Eventually does, but they'll call it offsides. And so this one will come on back out to the neutral zone.
Offsides. A tale as old as time, Matt.
Tale as old as time, Andrew.
A tale as old as, they were throwing rocks around on a frozen Canadian lake.
Exactly. What was invented first, Andrew? Hockey or the wheel? This is a quick question for you.
I think it was at the same time.
This is an interesting face-off location. Oh, no, they're not facing off over there. They're facing off right here. I'm an idiot.
Sure, all right there, Matt?
No, I'm not okay. Spicinski taking the face-off. Can't quite get a handle on it. Georgia Tech immediately bullied off the puck, though, and Gagne dumps it in for Bright, but Georgia Tech gets to it first. Georgia Tech puck in their own zone, being sticked around now until it's eventually poked all the way back out to the Kennesaw State zone. Georgia Tech chasing, but Gagne will be the first to it. Gagne up to Tisdale. Tisdale cross ice to Bright. Bright takes it in, looking for Gagne, who's streaking. Can't quite, centering pass, intercepted by Georgia Tech. Now this is Spicinski with the puck in the neutral zone now. Spicinski over to Gagne. Gagne dumps it in once again. They're going to chase it. Georgia Tech with possession in their own zone. It's been the story of the third period thus far. Georgia Tech finally skating it out into the neutral zone where it's poked away by Bright. Bright collects and immediately dumps it in onside for Georgia Tech to collect as Kennesaw State make a change. And this one dumped all the way back down behind Thurston now, Gagne. This is John Testino taking it up. He's got Ian McDonald with him. John Testino looking for it. Can't quite get a handle on the puck. Looking for a centering pass. Not enough juice. This is Vandekerkhoff now. Vandekerkhoff along the near boards. Back around behind the net to McDonald, but Georgia Tech manages to push him off of the puck. Georgia Tech have it along the far boards now and manage a cross-ice pass that is eventually collected off of a ricochet by Berezinski. Berezinski fights for possession and does regain it as it goes off the skate of Testino, but eventually finds its way out into the neutral zone. This is,
There's the call. You can see Testino immediately looked either at the ref or at us. I'm not sure who he was trying to get the call from.
Absolutely. Oh, no, I don't think they're going to call this. You're kidding me. Wait, what?
All right, so Testino took a stick to the face and it popped his helmet off, and they did not call a high sticking penalty. Instead, they called a penalty on John Testino.
He better have a penalty here. Can you believe this?
Yes, there is a high sticking penalty. So we have offsetting minors.
That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, if he would have made that call at the right time, Testino wouldn't have retaliated.
Absolutely. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, his stick went up under his mask and just popped his helmet right off.
Incredible. We're glad Testino seems to be okay, showing no signs of injury or any bodily harm, so that's good.
And Deer's still in the box after that misconduct a while ago.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
He actually did get a misconduct?
Yeah.
This is stupid.
We've had one of those every game.
Not a big
I don't
fan.
see him for a while. I'm like, hey, where are they? Check the box. Oh, there he is.
All right, face-off in the neutral ice is eventually corralled by Georgia Tech as they dump it back in. We got some 4-on-4 hockey here, Andrew. Kennesaw State special. And now Kennesaw State, this is Berezinski skating it up past neutral ice, past center, and into the Georgia Tech zone. Berezinski still with the puck, making a move now, trying to break for the net. Along the far boards, this is Berezinski up to the point. Berezinski finds Bright down low. Berezinski trying to get a centering pass into Spysinski, can't quite make it happen. Along the near boards now as they fight for the puck, this is Bright. Bright over to Berezinski. Ooh, nice little bit of stick work there, makes a man miss. Berezinski to Berezinski.
Shocker.
Dumping it along now. Bright will be on time for that one, but there is a scrum along the boards for it. Now, this is Georgia Tech bringing it up into the neutral zone and eventually skating it into Kennesaw State territory. A centering pass, not quite gonna happen, and we have a stoppage and a penalty that will be assessed here.
Some physicality between Spysinski and one of the Yellow Jackets.
And that'll be Spysinski going to the box. So we'll have a man advantage for Georgia Tech here for another 2 minutes. Oh, no, unless it's offsetting.
Hey, some more offsetting penalties. Gotta love it.
Hey, more offsetting penalties.
Is it 3-on-3 hockey?
That would be hilarious if they actually... Are they going to do it? 3-on-3?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think we've been in this situation before.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of penalties. We've been in games with a lot of penalties.
There've been a couple 4-on-3s and a couple 5-on-3s, but... Doing 3-on-3? No, they're sticking with 4-on-4. College rules, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the plan here? Why
College rules.
Why is there no timer?
Welcome back to college hockey rules and how we don't know them.
Yeah, this is interesting. Well, regardless, we have ourselves a face-off here.
And both of the gentlemen in the box right now have 2 goals in the game.
Absolutely. So this is Kennesaw State, Bright now, I believe, taking it up along the near boards. This is Bright eventually losing it to Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech start to push back up ice. Neutral zone, eventually into Kennesaw State zone. Kennesaw State trying to play some defense here, and eventually Georgia Tech come up with it and send it to the near side point. A redirect by Vanderkerkhoff almost results in an own goal, but Luke Thurston is not going to let that happen very easily. Georgia Tech now. Puck along the far board. Attempt to send it around the glass, but kind of makes a weird bounce.
Went off the corner.
Yeah, exactly. And finds its way onto the stick of Kennesaw State. This is Vanderkerkhoff coming up ice with a full head of steam. This is Ian McDonald now. Ian McDonald looking for a centering pass. Nobody home. McDonald eventually pushed off the puck by Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech can start the push once again. Georgia Tech neutral ice, eventually into Kennesaw State territory, but immediately poked off of the puck with 12:32 remaining in this final period of the season. And the puck is slowly sent all the way back down into Georgia Tech territory as they corral and prep for another charge.
Matt, I figured it out.
What's up, dude?
Those weren't penalties. Those were both misconducts.
Oh.
So it's back to 5-on-5 full strength hockey, but Spysinski and the other gentlemen are still in the box.
Okay, I got you. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Over here, got the manual out and everything.
Nice, dude. Well done. When's Deer's misconduct gonna end?
Not
That's the
soon
real
enough.
question. Yeah, exactly. So Georgia Tech dumping it into Kennesaw State zone now, but that's Tisdale with a pass from Berezinski, and Tisdale putting a man from Georgia Tech onto the ice once again. He's known for doing things like that. He can lay the hit stick down every now and again if he needs to. And this is Berezinski now, trying a long pass for Butler. Butler ends up corralling it and dumping it in to the Georgia Tech zone. Good fight along the near boards there by Butler. This is Tisdale eventually contesting, but now it's Hayes. Max Hayes. Trying to give a little bit of grief. Ends up actually getting a stick on this pass behind the Georgia Tech goal, but Georgia Tech end up corralling it anyway. Centering, cross-ice pass looking for center ice. It was Georgia Tech, and couldn't quite corral it. It was a bouncing puck, and Kennesaw State dumped it right back in. This is Georgia Tech. Ooh!
I don't appreciate that there, 27.
Yeah, 27.
Little higher, and I'd be dead.
Yeah, a little higher. That was probably the closest we had come.
No, that's not the closest. The closest went, like, right up here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But that was more
bad.
just like a straight up.
I would have taken my head off.
Yeah, that was clipping.
Like, don't like our broadcasts? Fine.
Why don't you just tell us?
Don't watch it then.
Offensive zone faceoff for Kennesaw State with 11:02 to play in this third period against Georgia Tech. And this is Georgia Tech winning the faceoff once again. They continue their faceoff dominance. That being said, Georgia Tech having the devil of the time trying to actually clear the puck of their own net, or of their own zone, rather. I mean, up 2 goals. And that's a slapper put on goal by Berezinski, high right. Can't quite make it happen. This is Berezinski once again with the puck now at the near point. But Georgia Tech end up fighting him off the puck. Kept in the zone by Berezinski, and we have a shoving match between Moran and number 9 for Georgia Tech, right in front of us here. But Georgia Tech end up with the puck and are trying to solve this puzzle of how they're going to get the puck into Kennesaw State territory. They eventually do, and a shot's put on goal, but it's fought away by the stick side of Luke Thurston. Berezinski now trying to make a few men miss, and does. Wow, good stick work there by Berezinski. Trying to send it around to Ian McDonald, and he eventually does. 10 minutes are left in the game, Andrew, so why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Gladly. That was a great job, Matt. Great
Yeah, I
job.
do
Go
what I
back
can.
to your roots.
I do what I
A
can.
shot on goal by Berezinski goes wide left, and it's back behind the goal for Vanderkerkhoff. In the corner now is Georgia Tech. Pokes it up top and kept in the zone by Berezinski off of his mask, but apparently not soon enough as we have it offsides. Matt, how's it feel to be back in the saddle?
I don't ride horses, Andrew.
Ah, awesome. Stupid.
That's really stupid.
9:44 to go in the third period. KSU hanging on to this 3-goal lead. McDonald on the faceoff. Vanderkerkhoff dumps it back into the Georgia Tech zone, and they wait patiently behind Rudnicki. Checking the boards there by McDonald on a back check and a penalty
come on.
Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff. Get ready for another 2
You're
minutes,
kidding
ladies
me.
and gentlemen, of a man advantage for Tech.
You're kidding me. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Ah, love it. We got
Hey, but Deer's
someone
out.
take his whistle.
Someone take that man's whistle away.
You said Deer's misconduct is over?
Oh, he's out of the box.
All right.
And Spyzinski's not in the box, it doesn't look like.
That penalty box door has been slammed more times than any door I've seen.
Yeah, it's a sturdily built door. It needs to be.
Nothing but anger going in that
Yeah,
box.
considering how terrible these referees are. Oh, wait, what? Barrett.
Hang on. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Barrett probably
Might
just
be,
got a
might be
misconduct.
taking the place of someone in the box.
Well, that makes no sense.
Well, do you see Spycinski out there?
On the ice or on the bench
Both.
anywhere? No.
Okay.
Huh. Wonder where he...
Well, we try to sort this one out.
yeah.
KSU wins the faceoff and put it around the boards and out of their own zone for the first clear of the power play.
Didn't take very long.
Evan Deer got a nice long rest in the penalty box, and now Georgia Tech comes up across the blue line into KSU territory.
Oh, yeah, he's coming out with a full head of steam and uses every last bit of it to absolutely steamroll a Georgia Tech offenseman. No, thank you. Why don't you have a seat over there?
Last game of the year, we got the best timing of the whole season right now.
You are not kidding. That was
Turnover
incredible.
by Tisdale, backhand on goal is saved by Rudnicki.
Kennesaw State. Why don't we put a couple shots on goal while we're shorthanded just for good measure to give them a little something to think about. 1 or 2 for the road, and there he is, the man, the myth, Spycinski is back in the game.
Deer was tracking that hit the entire time. He wanted that badly.
And he made it happen, Andrew.
Georgia Tech wins the faceoff. 1:20 to go on the man advantage for them. Spycinski blasts it on goal into the glove of Rudnicki from beyond the blue line. Here comes Tech. 1:10. A pass over to the boards. Spycinski's tracking this one. Georgia Tech playing around neutral ice, trying to fight off Mitchell Bright as they lob it back into KSU zone. Gagne in the corner. In the scrum right now, it's 3 Yellow Jackets and 1 Gagne. And now Georgia Tech has it on the right side of the ice. Tech fakes Mason Bright. Back to the point. Lets a shot go. And stopped by Thurston. Sends to the right side corner. Mason Bright now. Robbed by Georgia Tech as they play with it behind Luke Thurston. Sends it to the point. Winding up for a shot. Fans on it. And Mason Bright gives him a little something to think about afterwards. Sent back to the point. A slap shot. Didn't get all of it. Backhand attempt and off the crossbar. And Thurston somehow keeps it out of the goal.
Goodness. Look at the bench for Kennesaw State going crazy now. Like, how does he do it? How does he manage to do such incredible things?
First shot went high off the crossbar, and 2 rebound chances later with Thurston on his back. Fights off both of them.
Wow.
Someone give that man a contract.
That was,
Wow.
Andrew, I'm in love. That was incredible.
Unbelievable by Luke Thurston. 24 seconds to go on the Georgia Tech man advantage. And they've made Luke Thurston work.
Tell you what, but work he has.
We got a timeout. We got a timeout.
Yes, we
I
do.
haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, should we go to commercial? I don't know. What do
We don't
during
have any
timeout?
sponsors or any advertisements or.
Let's
The
get-
only sign we have in the
let's
vicinity
get
is that
one
big
more- let's-
cutout of Spicinski's face.
Oh, and the one. Let's take one more shot at it before we leave.
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bradley's Bar and Grill, your neighborhood bar where they do neighborly things.
Like?
Smoke
Ah.
over your casserole.
Love it.
Gorgeous.
A little bit of ethnic flavor involved when we do that.
I don't think menthol counts as ethnic flavor, Andrew. Gonna be honest.
Got to
with
give
you.
him a parting shot on the way out the door.
Bradley's Bar and Grill. You smoke there. You get cancer and you die. So.
Nice
that's
advertising.
basically it. Yeah, I mean, allegedly.
So
There
you're
you go.
told.
No, I can't be sued.
Just threw the allegedly in there.
Yeah, allegedly. Stupid.
Thurston getting some timeout stretches over there by the bench.
Oh yeah, he's got a
Stay nice and limber.
That was censored in the chat, so I don't know what you said or whether you posted a link. But our auto filter somehow blocked it.
Nice, Matt.
Knowing how strict our auto filter is, it was probably like, "Hi, how are you?"
Probably. 7:52 to go in the third period. 24 seconds.
Oh, it's a link to
On
the
the power
save.
play.
Nice, very cool. very
Oh,
cool.
awesome. Face-off won by Kennesaw State. Scrum in the corner between a pair of Owls and a pair of Bees. And it's finally dug out and won by Georgia Tech. But a pass went straight to the stick of Ian McDonald, and he sent it straight back down to Rudnicki.
Ian McDonald, full head of steam here.
Challenging Rudnicki behind his own net. And Georgia Tech. Power play expires. We're back to full-strength hockey. Testino nearly gets the steal in Georgia Tech zone. Fighting his way through is Georgia Tech, and they cross the red line. Into KSU's zone as they throw it out of play for a face-off.
7:18 to play, Andrew.
7:18 to go in the period, Matt. 7:18 to go in the season.
In the season.
I'm getting all teary-eyed, Matt.
Don't. That's you're a loser. Don't do that, you nerd.
Wow, okay. Wow. That hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
That stings.
You gotta toughen you up.
Oh, I hate you.
Gotta get you tough enough to handle that frigid northern winter.
Hey, we're from Philadelphia. We're fine. We're
I
used
know,
to
I was
it.
about to say.
Yeah.
we're good.
KSU wins the faceoff, and it goes all the way back to their zone with 7:08 left to go. Ian McDonald in the corner. Attempts to clear, but it goes to Georgia Tech. A deflection, pops the puck straight up in the air, and a jump ball ends up on the stick of Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale around the boards. To John Testino. A bank pass off the boards. Here comes Berezinski. Justin Berezinski, a shot stopped by one of the Yellow Jackets before it can leave his stick. Berezinski to the point for his brother. Centering pass, knocked off there, but controlled by Testino. A shot almost went in off the knee of Rudnicki. Oh, Testino wanted that one. As now Tisdale has it in the corner. Up ice to Berezinski. Berezinski back along the boards, off the leg of Tisdale, and center ice for Testino. Testino attempts a pass over to Spicinski, but is intercepted before it can be made. A backhanded pass across the blue line into neutralized territory, and a lobbing pass or shot or dump, or maybe all of the above, straight into the mitt of Luke Thurston. 6:12 left to go as here comes Evan Deere. Deere puts a shot on Rudnicki, and it's fought off to the left side of the boards, and Bright picks it up. Bright to Deere. Deere in a scrum right now. Over to Mason Bright. Attempts for Deere, but it's intercepted before it can reach his stick. Off the back of Spicinski, and straight back to the corner. Evan Deere still fighting for it. Goes back behind Rudnicki, and eventually collected by Mason Bright. Bright to the point for Gagne. A snipe from Gagne. Shot, rebound by Deere. Could not get all of it. Put up into the pads of Rudnicki. and eventually controlled by Georgia Tech. Kept in the zone by Mason Bright. Gagne already went back to play his position, so he was not home, and here comes Georgia Tech. A pass up ice. Almost a good play there, but it hops over his stick as Georgia Tech has it in the corner and gets ran off there by Evan Deere. Gagne. Twisted along behind Luke Thurston, controlled by Spicinski. Spicinski to Bright. Back to Spicinski. A pass way up the ice is sticked down by one of the Yellow Jackets before it can reach the waiting stick of Evan Deere. Kicked on back into the KSU zone by Georgia Tech. It's Tristan Gagne. Circling back around, 5 minutes flat to go in the third period and the season. Here comes Mason Bright. Chips it on up to Matt Butler, who shrugs off a check. Butler tries to squeeze it on through, but cannot do it. There's too many Yellow Jackets in the area. Butler gets robbed at the point, and here comes Tech. Musgrave, the challenge, a backhander, lazy backhander put just left of Thurston, and Musgrave collects on the boards. Back over to Bright. Mason Bright in the right side corner, over to Gagne. Waiting patiently as Tristan Gagne sends it up ice intended for Butler, but walled off there by one of the Yellow Jackets. On through to Gagne again, but it's pushed back into the KSU left side corner, and we have offsides or a slash. A slashing call on who, might I ask? Hey, it's on Matt Butler.
Butler will join the cavalcade of Owls in the box. Wait, I
Wait.
guess not. Wait, what? Did he just get ejected?
Okay, so Matt Butler got ejected for a seemingly harmless slash, and we
I don't know
have
about
2
that.
minutes, and Vanna Kirkov will serve the time.
Strange. Evander Kirkhoff immediately starts chirping at the referee. This is hilarious.
There hasn't been a penalty on Tech since, like, middle of the second.
There hasn't been a penalty on Tech since like 8 BC.
When was Tech founded?
10 BC.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Timeout for both teams. Just trying to get a strategy put together.
What's our strategy, Andrew, for after this? Where are we going to eat?
Where are we going to eat? I don't know. We'll figure that out in the car.
If the Popeyes near us had blackened ranch, I would say we should go to Popeyes. But
Says you should file a grievance against that Popeye.
I swear I am going to persecute them for crimes against humanity if they don't bring back blackened ranch back. It's ridiculous. Other Popeyes have it.
You have the strangest problems.
Not the one near camp. Listen, this is important to me.
Obviously.
It's the best sauce. It's like, why even eat Popeye's chicken if not for that sauce?
Because if you like fried chicken, you want to go get it.
Their chicken's okay without it.
Yeah, but their biscuits are good and their fries
Their
are good.
biscuits
Have
are
a whole
great. No,
meal.
I understand that, but their chicken's
You don't
just
need
okay.
blackened
I
ranch
want
to
some
enjoy it.
top tier chicken. If I want to get chicken that I don't need sauce for, I'll go to Bojangles or something.
Let's go to Bojangles.
Let's not go to Bojangles. I
Why?
had that the other day.
Who cares?
I've had it very recently.
I did too. I still want it.
Maybe.
Good.
There is 4:23 remaining in this final period of play.
Final period of the season.
Why do you got to keep saying it?
Because I'm sad and I'll miss these guys.
Wow.
A shot attempt off the stick of Berezinski up into the netting, so we'll have the face-off from the exact same spot with 1:55 to go on the man advantage for Georgia Tech. Aaron Tisdale waiting for referee to actually drop the puck. They're taking their sweet time. And Matt, they're trying to ice them.
Nice. Nice meme. You're stepping on my headphone cord again,
I'm
by
sorry.
the way.
Face-off is battled for and eventually sent to the corner where Georgia Tech will be the first man to it. Georgia Tech in the corner with the man advantage for 1:40. Waits at the right side point. A pass attempt is stopped by Berezinski and eventually cleared all the way back down the ice by Aaron Tisdale. Rudnicki attempts to give it to one of his teammates, but he overskates it and eventually sent to the boards. Aaron Tisdale with the back check as the puck is sent across ice. 3:42 to go in the third period. Here comes Tech. A shot off the stick of Berezinski sent to the left side. Luke Thurston flying across the crease makes the save.
Luke Thurston says, "Excuse me, do you think I was born yesterday? You think you're going to get these beer league shots past an elite goaltender? I think not."
He's been doing that all season. Nearly turned over there for Ian McDonald, but now it's Moran that kicks it back into Berezinski's possession. Sent to the boards with a minute 5 to go on the man advantage. Puck being popped straight up. It's Moran and Berezinski fighting for it, but Tech keeps it in, and a backhanded lob is sent to the left side corner. Berezinski sends a puck screaming off the glass and all the way back to the stick of Rudnicki. 3:12 to go in the third, 50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Here comes Tech. Up across the blue line. To neutral ice, trying to get in Kennesaw's zone, and he does. Sent off of Tristan Gagne to the right side corner. A centering pass intercepted by Moran and eventually Berezinski, who fans on a clear, but regathers and sends it back anyway. 28 seconds to go on the man advantage. Tech once again regathers and tries to break this KSU power play that's been so dominant tonight. And here they come. The neutral ice. Stops on a dime. Fakes a couple of his teammates out there are offsides. But here comes Tech anyway. Into KSU zone, dump and chase all the way back to the right side corner, but Bright will be the first man to it with 5 seconds to go on the power play. Power play expires off the clear from Gagne, back to full strength hockey. James Barrett out of the box now with 2:15 to go in the third period. Gagne all the way through onto a stick of a Yellow Jacket. Evan Deere tried to get to it, but wasn't fast enough, and here comes Tech. Sends it all the way down to KSU zone. A bit too far, perhaps? No icing. Gagne gets to it. Back taps it along from Mason Bright. Bright attempts to put it off the boards, but it goes up and into the mesh. For an offensive zone face-off for Georgia Tech. With 1:56 to go in the third period, KSU still has that 3-goal lead. Spicinski on the face-off. Sent to the corner, and Kennesaw will be the first people to it. Here comes Evan Deere. Evan Deere with speed down the ice to the left side corner. A backhanded centering pass. If anyone was home, that would be beautiful. Slap shot from Gagne, just a bit wide left, trying to get another snipe under his belt. Georgia Tech with control, kept in the zone. And here's Bright. Puts a long shot, fought off there by Rudnicki as Deere sends a man down to the ice and gets tripped. Georgia Tech lobs it on and kept in the zone by Bright. A shot from the point by Mitchell Bright is caught and held by Caleb Rudnicki.
Wow, great efforts there by Kennesaw State to keep it in the offensive zone. With 1:24 to play, Andrew. 1:24 to play. This one's This one's coming down to it.
Aaron Tisdale on the faceoff. Tech wins it, but Tisdale races to it. Sent back along the boards, rides on the railing, as now here comes Tech. Sent up the neutral ice, it's Gagne with control. A pass off the boards to Musgrave. Musgrave gets checked down to the ice, but here comes Tech behind the goaltender. Loses an edge there. Aaron Tisdale gets tripped up, and now it's Musgrave with a check. Georgia Tech making a push. 1 minute to go in the final period. A shot on Thurston, fights it off. And now here comes Kennesaw. Tristan Gagne up to Berezinski. Off the boards. Straight back into the possession of Georgia Tech. Neutral ice, and here comes Tech in a Kennesaw zone. A shot from the left side, no. Stopped by Luke Thurston. Tristan Gagne now waiting behind. With 30 seconds to go in the final period of action, a long pass up to Tisdale. Collected by Georgia Tech, sent back to neutral ice, and eventually back into Kennesaw's territory to Berezinski. Berezinski up across the red line, ends up back in Georgia Tech's zone with 18 seconds to play. Colby Musgrave in on the forecheck. Back to neutral ice. Testino shovels it back in. 10 seconds to play. Georgia Tech waiting in the trapezoid. Sends it on through. And here they come with 3 seconds to play. Georgia Tech at neutral ice. And that will do it for the regular season of Kennesaw State Fighting Owls ice hockey as they end the season on a massive win streak. So massive I lost count.
Absolutely, Andrew. They've been playing out of their minds recently, and hopefully they can carry this momentum into the postseason. That being said, that will be all for us, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in one final time. It's been an absolute blast, and we wouldn't trade it for the world. This has been the Super Game Cast brothers, Matt and Andrew Leonard, from the Marietta Ice Center here in lovely Marietta, Georgia. Signing off. Andrew, any final words?
Just thanks for watching. Thanks for the opportunity, guys, and I hope you find some replacements for us next season so I can tune in from a different state.
Exactly. Come on, get some replacements in here. Don't let us fizzle out. All right, guys. Thank you once again for watching. Matt and Andrew Leonard, the Super Game Cast brothers, signing off.